Friends, my name is Amit Kumar and today I am going to discuss a class 9 topic that is called physical features. And before the start of this topic, I would like to say something. You know what is the physical features which already had been discussed in the previous classes. Today I am going to discuss especially the physical features like the Southern Peninsular Plateau. In a previous class we had discussed regarding the Himalayas. But in today's I am going to discuss particularly the Southern Peninsular Plateau. Children, what is Southern Peninsular Plateau? The southernmost part of India, this is the southernmost part of India. It is a Southern Peninsular Plateau. Okay, so why they are called peninsular? What is a peninsular? Peninsular means the area, the land mass which is bounded by the three sides by. Once again, what is a peninsula? Peninsula means the area which is bounded by the three sides by water, one side by land. It is known as peninsula. You can say the western part is covered with the Arabian Sea, the southernmost part is covered with Indian Ocean, and probably the easternmost part is covered with the Bay of Bengal. So the area which is covered with the three sides by water, one side by land, it is known as peninsular. And these Southern Peninsular Plateau is that's why it's called Southern Peninsular Plateau. Okay, let's talk about the Southern Peninsular Plateau and we can explain easily way to understand what is plateau and why plateau is important for us. So before the start of this important topic, we would like to ask the learning objective regarding the whole subject, that is to understand the Southern Peninsular Plateau. Second, the division of plateau and importance of plateau, Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat, and formation of division of Himalaya in India. Okay, children, let's start with the Southern Peninsular Plateau. First, the Southern Peninsular Plateau is situated in the southernmost part of India. It is the ancient Gondwana land. Once again, it is the ancient part of Gondwana land, which are very rich in minerals. Okay. The Southern Peninsular Plateau is situated in the southernmost, but it is also their division is very important. The Southern Peninsula is divided into two categories. The Narmada River, which are situated in Gujarat, they separated these Southern Peninsular Plateau into two parts. The above from the Narmada River, that is called Narmada River. The north of Narmada is called Central Highland, and the south of Narmada is called Deccan Plateau. Once again, the Narmada drainage basin is separated these plateau into two parts. The north of Narmada is called Central Highland and south of Narmada is called Deccan Plateau. Okay, and these are the two major divisions of Southern Peninsular Plateau. But the Central Highland is also divided into two categories. Once again, the Central Highland is also divided into two categories. One is from eastern side, another is western side. The western side of Central Highland is known as, that is called Malwa Plateau, and eastern side of Central Highland is called Chota Nagpur Plateau. Once again, Central Highland divided into two categories. One is called Malwa Plateau, which are situated in the western side of India, it is situated in Rajasthan, and the other has the Chota Nagpur Plateau, which are situated in the eastern side like Jharkhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh. They are situated as Chota Nagpur Plateau. Okay, so the children, why Southern Peninsular Plateau is important? Yes, it is very important because it is rich in minerals. And lot of minerals are most probably they are situated over there, and that's why these areas are very developed, and as well as they give lot of raw material to the industries in modern period. Okay, let's talk about some importance regarding the Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat. Eastern Ghat, that means the area which are situated in the Bay of Bengal. First of all, what is Ghat? Ghat means the area which is covered with mountain. The upland means the land which is little bit higher than the plain. What are the definition of upland? The land, you can say the plateau, the upland which is above from the plain but flat on the roof. Probably These are the ghat. These ghat is bounded with the two sides. One is from eastern side, another is western side. Eastern side is known as Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat is related. The area which is the ghat which is situated in Arabian Sea, they are called Western Ghat. Okay, let's talk about these Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat. And an important thing, what are the difference between Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat? Today I am going to discuss these important topic, difference between Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat. Let's talk about the division, yeah, you can say the classification, yeah, differences between Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat. Okay, we take the two here, particularly area that is called Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat. Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat is important part. We know that the southernmost part, the area which is situated in Bay of Bengal is known as Eastern Ghat, and the area which is close to the Arabian Sea is known as Western Ghat. Okay, the things they have a differences. What are the differences between them? The first one, when we talk about the Eastern Ghat, it means it is situated near where? Bay of Bengal. The Eastern Ghat is situated near Bay of, like that. This is Eastern Ghat. And what about the Western Ghat? Once again, it is located near Arabian Sea. So it is situated in the Bay of Bengal. It is located near the Arabian Sea. The second one, children, you have to see that the Western Ghat is a continuous series of mountain, but the Eastern Ghat have some breakdown. That means it is a continuous series. It is continuous series of mountain, but and second one, that is in the Western Ghat, it is continuous of series of mountain. Once again, the Eastern Ghat is situated in Bay of Bengal. Western Ghat is situated in Arabian Sea. Eastern Ghat is situated, it is a continuous series, it is a discontinuous series. The average height of Eastern Ghat is about 600 meter. The average height of Eastern Ghat is about 600 meter. But the other hand, we have a Western Ghat. It is a little bit higher than the Eastern Ghat. It means the average height is about, that is a 1600 meter. So first of all, to understand what is Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat, one, the ghat which are situated near the Bay of Bengal. Where is the Western Ghat? Is situated near the Arabian Sea. Second, it is a continuous series of mountain. The in Western, this is a discontinue. That is not a continue. This is called discontinue. In Eastern Ghat, this is called discontinuous series of mountain, and eastern side have a continuous series of mountain. The average height of this Eastern Ghat is about 600 meter, and the average height of the Western Ghat is about 1600 meter. These are the difference between Eastern Ghat and Western Ghat. And the children, before all these things, we have to discuss how the coastal areas has been separated. So we talk about the separation of coastal areas. Okay, these are the southernmost part of India. The area which is near the Arabian Sea, this area, they have divided into two coastal places. One, the area situated from Gujarat to Maharashtra. The coastal area which are situated between Gujarat and Maharashtra, it is known as Konkan coast. And the remain Maharashtra to, yeah, you can say the Karnataka to Kerala, the area is called, that is a Coromandel, Konkan, Malabar coast. And the eastern side we have the area which are situated in WB, West Bengal to Odisha, is known as Northern Sarkar. What is called? Northern, that is called Sarkar. And the remain the area part which are lower than the Odisha and go to the Tamil Nadu, the coastal area which are situated between Odisha to, that is called Tamil Nadu, they known as Coromandel coast. Once again, Konkan coast, Malabar coast, that is a Northern Sarkar coast, and that is a Coromandel coast. These are the division of coastal area. Probably they cover Western Ghat as well as Eastern Ghat. Okay, so the next one is a formation of division of Indian plains. We talk about the division and formation of plain. The northern plain. The plain, it is another geographical area which are situated in the south of Himalaya. It is formed by the three important rivers, the Indus, the Brahmaputra and the Ganga. They are generally the plain area which are formed by these three rivers. These plain areas is covered with the fertile soil, that name is called alluvial soil. And these alluvial soil is also divided into two categories. One is called Khadar, another is called Bangar. So these formation of plains are generally, it is formed by the deposition and that is a erosional and depositional work by the river which are formed these plains of India, and these plains are very fertile. We know that these plains probably located from Punjab to, that is related to in the eastern side we have Paschim Bengal. And then what is the division of plains? The division of plain, that means the division of plain means the area, the plains which are separated by the various mountain or river. Suppose the area which is between Indus to Satluj, or you can say the Jhelum, Satluj or Jhelum, that area is known as Punjab plain. And there is a Ghagra river, Ghagra, Ghagra river to Brahmaputra river, known as the area which are the plain which are situated between the Ghagra river to the Brahmaputra river, that is now is called Ganga plain, and the Brahmaputra to the particularly Dihang river, or you can say that is called Brahmaputra to Dihang, that is called Assam plain. These are the classification of plains from west to east direction. The area situated between Indus to Satluj, or you can say the Ghagra, that is a Punjab plain, which are very fertile. Most of the part are situated in the Pakistan, but they are also have some Doab. You know what is a Doab? Doab means the area situated lie between the two rivers. They are called Doab. Okay, this is the Punjab plain which is famous for the Doab. We know that Punjab, Pan means 5, Ajab means that is water. It means Punjab, the state which has covered with 5 important major rivers, Ravi, Jhelum, Beas, Satluj, that is a Vyas. These are all rivers are situated in Punjab. That's why Punjab is called important Doab, and they are covered with the 5 rivers. And the next one is a Ganga plain which we have is situated from. It is started from Haryana to probably they are going to the West Bengal. These are part of Ganga plain. And the next one is Assam plain. The A plains which are situated in Assam, a little bit from Arunachal, they is known as Assam plain. These are the classification of northern plain. And first of all, one important definition about what is Tarai and what is that is called Purvanchal. Tarai means the area when the rivers is move toward the slopy area where a lot of internal river originated and the area becomes swampy and marshy. Such type of area is called, that is a Tarai. And what is the Doab? The area which are situated between two rivers. The area lie between two rivers. They are called Doab. This is the Doab is a very fertile land which are famous for the probably various kinds of activities, especially agriculture. Okay, the next and last and important things about these physical features are very essential. And what is another, after that we have another division like the island. The island, you know that the area, the landmass which is bounded by all side by water, we have is called island. Island is covered with India have two important islands. One is Andaman and Nicobar, another is Lakshadweep. Another we have a desert. The western part of India is covered with a desert, and these deserts are generally dry and sandy textures. These are not very humid areas, and these are the coastal plains, which are the plains which are lie between the Eastern Ghat and Western Ghats. These are called the coastal plain. Thank you so much for